YouTube above average Cody here, coming at you with your favorite series, Viewer VOD Review, where we go through a viewer's gameplay and see what tips we can give them to improve in the Halo Infinite ranked arena. Today we have some gameplay from the longtime homie Radio Flyer. This is some Platinum 2 Streets Slayer gameplay, and guys, I'm going to tell you right at the top with this one, the quality of the video is, for lack of a better description, really bad, all right? But what matters is the tips and the gameplay decisions that we are looking at here. So I'm going to tell you it's kind of tough to see, but it is good enough to give you guys some really important teaching points here in Ranked Slayer, which is a mode that I promise if you are Platinum Diamond level, you definitely need to improve at. So we're going to dive right in here, guys, and the sound is actually going to be on. I normally turn it off, but there are a lot of very important teaching points here that very much require the gameplay sound, right? So we're going to go over Radio's decisions and kind of see how he can improve here in Slayer. And, guys, main point of Slayer, obviously get kills, but your life is very valuable. It's not always gun the other team and get kills. It is also live up and make good decisions as a team, so you're not giving the enemy team all the kills. That's just something I want to paint before we get into this here. So right off the rip, Radio likes to look over active, and then he goes down towards Bulldog on Pink Street. Now, nobody here. He's chilling. He's looking. He's not really getting any info. And you guys may or may not notice there is a lot going on the left side, Stalker side of the map. So right up till now, we are about 18 seconds into this map, and Radio has not seen a single thing. But sound and awareness, guys. You need to use your headset here. You need to use your sound, and you need to use the kill feed pretty much all simultaneously here. So in the moment here where Radio is going Pink Street, we hear some stuff popping off left side. That's fine. We're more focused on what we're doing here. So, again, no info. 10 seconds. We have not seen or heard a single thing on our side of the map, and we have one person over here to help. Now, we have a ping come in here on Red Room, which is pretty popular nowadays. Now that Stalker is sitting right there, the team that spawns Subway can get Stalker very quickly. So you get a ping up there, and then you also have a teammate go down. And all while this is happening, you do not have a hint of information coming from mid-map, down here in the L area. I can't even remember what it's called. I'm tweaking, guys. Forgive me. I'm a little tired today. And then you got no info Pink Street on Bulldog. So it's safe to assume that most of the action is over here. So at some point, you'd like to either A, rotate back through spawn quickly to try to get there. B, maybe go B steps if you see subways kind of open and try to get there, which you actually do. You get quite a bit of info here. Or you can try to wrap through C and just really try to flip the map, because it's safe to assume since you have help on Pink Street, your teammates that are in the respawn screen might be able to spawn up Pink Street, because they're going to spawn up with about 2 to 5 seconds left on camo, which being down here really is not a bad place to be to try to set up for this camo. But instead, you kind of just waste time here, move around. You know, you're very much relying on your vision to dictate what is going on. And then you also have a teammate spawn up here on A side. So you're kind of fine. And although this isn't that bad, it's still a 1-1 split on the scoreboard. It's whatever. I would just like to see you maybe get a little bit more active on the opening time of the map and try to get that map control, because walking around on Pink Street really just doesn't have that much directive. But regardless, you're set up here for camo. Now, where the first mistake truly comes in here is, although you've been all good and fine on Pink Street, again, we just painted the picture of the information that it's safe to assume they are all on this Stalker B side of the map, right, over by Arcade. And chances are, since, again, there's not much going on and you don't see anything, they are likely either A, holding that B side and coming down B steps to set up for camo, or they're going to push through, right? So you just standing here confidently looking down the middle of the map. Again, you see nothing. So now you know they didn't go down B steps. So there is such a high % chance that they are to your left on B, and you just get completely caught off guard by a fella in Subway. Now, I doubt he spawned there. His team likely just moved up through there. And then you get caught in this very awkward situation here on Tire Jump Up. And frankly, in that situation, there's not much you can do. You just have to have the foresight and be aware and think about where the enemies are on the map at all times and just be ready for them to come that way. And that just didn't really happen here, and that's why you get caught in that very awkward situation. And now I don't see you cycling. There we go. Now you're cycling through the death cams. Always be doing that. You get a lot of information there. Now right here, you spawn into Subway, right? That's fine. You move out. You look mid-map. You don't see anything immediately, but you have a teammate here left. Looks like he's maybe top C steps. And you have two teammates that moved through towards the A side of the map. And again, you just died to PD area, so it's still safe to assume that the enemies are up here on the right side of the map. So just based off that, we're going to see how this sequence plays out. And you're kind of looking out mid. You got that disruptor. Good job grabbing weapons. You actually catch sight on one there. And then, as expected, you actually get shot from the bottom driveway there. Because, again, they're kind of just holding that high B side, which is pretty common here, especially on Slayer. It's not always about running around and getting kills. It's also trying to hold the side of the map. And although you are up 6-2, it's still, even if they aren't 4 up, you can pretty much assume where they're going to spawn. Because, again, looking at where your teammates are, they're not really going to spawn here. They're not going to spawn Calf because these fellows are blocking that whole A area. They're not going to spawn Pink because this teammate is kind of moving out that way. And you obviously just spawn Subway, which only leaves PD, B-side, and Red Room for them to spawn. So again, it's pretty much that. It's not always that easy, but in most cases, it is that easy to dictate where the enemies are going to be. And especially in a mode like Slayer, this goes for all modes, but the sooner you can anticipate where the enemies are coming from, the easier this is all going to be. And although you do a good job getting that damage, I don't really like that you choose to just move out in the open because I very much think you were going to do that anyways, whether you got shot or not. So the sooner you can get that kill, or maybe just hold C and like just look C balk, or maybe stay back by the planters, you can control that area of the map while also preserving your life, because once you move out in the open, you're a sitting duck, especially if one is B steps or B rail, you're just going to absolutely get peppered. But then you actually do a pretty good job living up here, and it looks like you choose to go back up C steps, which I love. Your teammates are actually engaging in that fight, and it looks like they actually secure that kill here, right? So you kind of have the freedom to either A, kind of hold in C here, B, kind of turn and look and make sure your pink street is still clear, or just follow with your teammates and push through to B. It kind of depends on how aggressive your team is playing, how you should play it. And one person actually stops, one person moves up, and you choose to chill here. And you're still actually looking for that player back C, I think. So that's why you really have to pay attention to your kill feed so you can see when your teammates actually clear it out or not. So you turn your head, you choose to look out Balk, which I'm perfectly okay with, trying to get some info. I don't know if I like that grenade there. You may end up needing both of these grenades depending on where the fights end up going down. So I don't really like the waste of a grenade there because you really don't even know where they are yet because you don't have much information. So you choose to move up B. You hear grenades going off and your teammate actually gets a kill. So now you're moving towards the action, which I really like. Again, strength in numbers. You're here with two other teammates. If the fights do go down here, you can help. And you actually choose to turn away. You're checking C, and then you hear, I don't know if you guys could hear that, but you can literally still hear your teammate fighting, and you guys kind of just left him there. Now, this is the classic, did he push up too fast? Did I catch up to him too slow? It doesn't really matter. It's just like, ideally, you probably move up there with him, especially once you hear him fighting. Right there, you can hear the shots start to pop off. So I wouldn't hate for you to maybe move over this way and get some information, because it's, even if you just choose to back out or ping it or do whatever, it's still in my opinion, a higher percentage team play than just standing here, because no pings went off here or anything. I think you're kind of just trying to guess where they are. And again, you don't want to be guessing where they are. You very much want to anticipate where they are. So does it seem like a higher percentage move to look where I'm guessing where there may be enemies, or move and look where I can literally hear my teammate fighting, which you really just don't choose to do. You guys kind of ignore it, and then it pretty much just ends with him dying, and then you guys move, and you all just stack up here. So the biggest issue with this, and I talk about this a lot in CTF, is don't run backwards necessarily, especially not all at once, because right now, the only space of the map you are eating up is literally bottom driveway. You guys have nothing. You don't have sight on B. You don't have sight on the middle of the map right now. You guys literally can't see anything. So it's like, even for the teammate that just died, he's not even getting information through the death camps because you guys aren't looking at anything. So just something to think about, especially if you don't move with your teammate. You definitely want to keep yourself in a position where you can get information. And now another teammate goes down here, and see, there's a ping up, and you're very hesitant. I used to do this all the time. You kind of don't know which direction to go. I think sitting at one place when teammates are fighting is kind of the worst case scenario here. But again, if you would have stayed up there and got that information, you could have moved about a little bit differently. So now you're like back and forth, back and forth. I hate to say it, but you kind of just have to commit to one or the other and try to help your teammates out and try to get some information. And right here, you guys got to get ready to fight. Reticle up. So you move out B Street, and your teammate's actually fighting one. And you do a pretty good job navigating that gunfight. I'd like to see you use a little bit more left stick, because you can see here, when your reticle kind of gets caught to the left of him and you just keep putting shots into this wall, you could have done a little, like, just a strafe to the left and maybe line that up a little bit better. Now, your right stick aim looks good. Just try to involve a little bit more left and maybe a little bit more strafing. But he didn't do a good job getting much damage on you there anyways. Good job staying in the fight. You get the fight with your teammate, and then you choose to push up. This is typically what you want to do when you're eating up space on the map. Get the kill, move up, and then eat up space on the map. So now you're up here on B. You see your teammate spawn their PD. I believe he just spawned there. And then you actually slide back, and you're met with these two players here. Now, this seemed like a bit of a surprise, but you could actually be a little bit more ready for that. And this is tough here, but this is why you literally have to get better at just absorbing information here, right? So while you're fighting this fella, so the enemy's 4 up. Okay, you do a great job getting this kill. You have a teammate behind you actually die. And it's like, how do you know he's behind me? Well, because you have 0 teammates in your vision here. They're not B steps. They're not anywhere here. You're basically on the edge of your team setup here. Again, guys, I apologize for the quality. So this teammate dies behind you. How exactly did he die? We don't necessarily know. But we have to keep that in the back of our mind that we have the teammates also engaging in other enemies behind us, right? So you're not the only one fighting here. So you guys move out. You get the kill. And that was definitely not the fella that killed your teammate, right? So the one above you did not do it, because right here, shorter gamer tag than this one. Again, we can't read it because of the quality, but this is definitely not the same person. So that person who killed that first teammate of yours is very much still alive. So when you push out here, although it is great eating up the map, again, this is typically what you want to see. You have to have it in your head that there are enemies behind you. How you go about the enemies behind you is kind of up to you. You could maybe go B steps and check top trash, or you could just straight up turn around and help your teammate, which is probably the highest percentage play. Because, again, they already got a pick on you guys, so it's safe to assume they're going to push up. And then right here, when you see that teammate spawn PD, that teammate is spawning PD because Red Room and Tram are not safe because those enemies are pushing up. So by the time you lose another teammate, right, you're technically the last alive outside of the person that just spawned up. And you also have camo coming up soon. So this is a pretty sticky situation. So you got to get your head around very fast. And again, I don't think you anticipate how close they were. And although you do see it very quickly, you were kind of in the I need to sprint towards them kind of mindset, and you actually get caught sliding. And although you get this kill, it was too late for you to backpedal to cover. Frankly, once you get caught in that sticky situation, you just have to strafe side to side because you're kind of a sitting duck. You literally just back up dead straight in a line, and you are just an easier target to hit. And it looks like, oh, teammate loses that gunfight. That's a tough loss, especially with camo coming up. So you get a little more info that they are CAF, and you spawn up in PD. I'd like to get out of PD as quickly as possible. It's safe to assume they're going to secure that camo, but you just got to get out of here. It is absolutely a blender in here. And now you have 3 teammates in PD. You guys are all kind of just chilling. Teammate outside of PD dies. That might have been one of them in there, and then camo just comes in and melees you. It's like, that's definitely the last place you want to be, like, ever, unless you're holding the oddball there, and especially as camo comes up, right? So just be more careful of that. So right here, you go up top C. We were in this situation kind of a little bit similar earlier. But you have 2 spike grenades now. You have 2 regular grenades, and your teammates are dying bottom driveway, right? What I would probably do, since this fellow looks like he's about to chow the same angle, I'd probably like to see you go back tram and try to take a different angle, because this very much not only protects your life in terms of if somebody kind of breaks through mid, but also it offers a different angle and a little bit of extra stuff for the enemy to think about there. And like I said, throw some grenades past your teammates, because you did just pick up 4 grenades. Instead, you take the time to check out mid, which again, nothing wrong with that. I'm fine with you checking mid, but right after you don't see anything, you have to snap back to the action. You literally know where the action is. Instead, you kind of hesitate again. You turn that way, and now you throw the spike grenade. You actually do a good job to get a kill with it. You do a good job keeping your reticle up. It's just like that little tiny moment there where you took the time to turn towards this wall could have been a bit of a difference maker in this enemy, especially since they were literally one shot because you literally destroyed it with that spike grenade. But nonetheless, you guys are still in the lead here. And now you choose to go back Tram here. Up top. You get some info. You do a good job reacting to it. And you do a pretty good job using your cover there. I'd like to see you maybe jiggle peek that corner a little bit, but nonetheless, you did a good job getting that gunfight. Great job aiming. Then you chill. You wait till you get your shields back. And now you're kind of just walking out B here. And again, I mean, you run into a 2v1, and this is classic, like, this is a long time question in Halo, is how do you avoid these 2v1s? You need to just think about where your teammates are, and this is definitely a big, like, timing thing, right? So you have the teammate die right there. You have a teammate moved over here and a teammate on B step. So we can't really assume exactly where they are. There's a lot of people in the respawn screen, so it's safe to assume the enemies are going to spawn far. But there could be enemies moved up here. You see your teammate kind of hiding in B steps corner, so you have to be suspicious on why he's doing that. And then he also throws up a ping. I mean, you're kind of already out in the open here, but he does throw up a ping because I think he knows he's going to be pushed. But I think the one pushing him was actually coming back to look for you, and you actually just walk into a 2v1. And although this one wasn't as clear as to what's going on, but it's like, unless you just killed enemies over there and you got the advantage, you don't just want to push out. Like, again, it seems pretty open here, but it's like you kind of just run straight out and then you get caught in a 2v1. Maybe if you want to push this, because again, it's not super clear cut on what's going on in this situation, but I'd like to see you maybe run out, you know, go for this shroud, and then you can kind of, if you go for the shroud, you can cut off the angle from this one that appears red room. You can maybe put in some damage, and then once you realize it's a 2v1, maybe put the shroud screen down, try to get away, and that could potentially open up the wrap for this fella to move up B steps, get the kill, and then ideally you see that, you guys pinch them together, and hopefully get the kills. But it's like, that's a pretty in-depth play to make, especially if you're playing with randoms in Plat 2. But assuming if you're on the comms and you're able to orchestrate plays like that, I promise you it'll go a really long way. Now, you guys are actually 2 dead. You have another teammate fighting, and he's able to get a kill here. And you move out, you get some shots in mid, but again, you just died to enemies over there, and you just have to be more ready for them to be there. Like, I'm not upset with you moving towards Subway, you just have to be much more careful, because the place where you just died, unless you're watching your teammates in the kill cams just absolutely destroy everybody else, you just have to be very careful. And now you spawn PD, and again, you know they're going to be over there, you take a quick look, you don't really see anything. And now you're kind of just chilling, jumping around tires, you take a peek out camo. Now your teammate died B, so you know they're going to be up here B. Now, you have to wonder if they already got through, because they very well could have. Now they spawn PD, so you know they didn't. You do a good job turning, getting some damage there. And now you guys are just in a disadvantage. They're just going to push out and kind of snuff you guys out, because they knew they had the map advantage there once they got a couple kills. So there's the 1-for-1 trade, so it's 3-3 basically right now. And you're looking. There's another kill, so now it's 2-3. And now it's 1-3. And now, although you have teammates spawning up, they moved up far enough to block that spawn, so by the time that spawn's blocked, the help is already on the other side of the map. And I've talked about this in past VOD reviews. If you get the advantage, you have to push that advantage, because the sooner you can snuff out these remaining players, the sooner you can set up on that side of the map and then move to the next spawn and fight for that mid-map control again. And that's exactly what they do. They come and just snuff you guys out. This actually gives them the lead, and now they have the advantage, so your teammates really have to wait and try to get 4 up. And a little bit of a jump cut there, and this is because he actually had to do 2 clips and put them together, so no problem. So you did end up spawning red room, and I believe I saw the Stalker on the wall there. Stalker is coming up literally as you spawn. You can see the animation start. You just have to pay attention to that and make sure to grab that. That is absolutely a power weapon on this map. And you're running to help your teammate here in PD, but you're not really being too active about it. And it looks like, oh no, you missed the melee. So here, Radio, just don't be afraid to sprint. Like, you're sprinting here,
Enemy halfway to victory.
but it's like when you don't see anyone tires or like anywhere, you need to sprint and look for your teammate. Like, you're not even looking at your teammate here. He gets a kill, and you can tell he's weak, and if you would have looked at him, you might have been able to just get the shots on this guy. And this is just very unfortunate. It's the classic, I didn't get my melee off, but it looks like the enemy had camo there too. So you guys are in really bad shape right now. So this is, I'm going to reset here on the VOD review, but this is where you should also in-game be like, okay, we need to reset. We just got absolutely blended for about 2 minutes of gameplay. It looks like they're up 5 kills. I believe that's 23-28. So you guys have to lock in, get 4 up, and fight for some of this map control. We can't have any more of this running out and just dying or like split spawns or anything like that, right? So you see the fights are already going down A. You got a teammate front A, and it looks like a teammate calf. So chances are you're probably going to spawn here. If you spawn out, you have to get to the action quickly. Unless you see a bunch of teammates drop dead, then you're kind of just going to have to fold there, right? But we'll see what happens right here off your spawn. So you do spawn right near calf. So this is a great position to be in. Look here, see if you can get some damage in, and then just move and try to help your teammates win this gunfight. You have to team shot here. You see nothing, you move left. I like what I'm seeing. And your teammate goes down there. So you choose to just kind of hold this angle with your teammate. Here comes camo. I'd like to see you ping that up right when you see it. It'll also help with you finding them, but good job getting that kill. And your last teammate died there, PD, right? So you're the last spawner. You were the last spawner to spawn here, and you're also the last to live here. And your teammate just spawned PD. Or teammate died PD, I'm sorry. So you have to know that fella's going to be there. You can't over-chow that. Frankly, once I'm getting that kill on camo, that's a big kill. I am ratting here. I am being the biggest rat ever on A. I know they're coming from PD. I'm just going to stay there and either A, hope they forget about me and run past and give me some freebies, or B, I'm just going to stay, get my shields back, and then evaluate where either A, the enemy's moving, or B, my teammates are spawning, and then kind of go from there. But right here, this is just a free kill for the enemy that just gives them another kill to pad their lead, and they are up 5 right now. And now you see that enemy running through A, and your teammates are calf and right here. So you know there's an enemy roaming around A here, but the rest will probably be out in the mix in the middle of the map somewhere. So you spawn up PD, and it looks like your teammate actually gets a melee on that fella that was roaming here. And you spawn close, which is great. This is a perfect chance for your team to team shot and get the lead. I'd like to see you go top A, maybe just hang out, put in some damage, which is what you do. And you kind of took a second to react to that 2v1. You just have to be more mindful of what's going on. So when you go up here, you know you see 2v1 immediately. Or sorry, not 2v1 because there are teammates. But I mean you see 2 enemies in your vision and you are one single person. You need to preserve your life and put in as much damage as possible. Maybe put a grenade here in cafeteria to make this guy a little scared. He might back out, run away. And then just put shots on this guy. Use your cover right here to your right. Instead, you kind of just hesitate, you stay in between, and although you try to cut the angle on this left fella, you just take too much damage from that guy. And now your teammates are still just running in at cafeteria, and this is what I mean by, like, you have to play as a team. And this teammate's actually doing a good job backing off. So you spawn up here, you know they're calf. I'd rush Pink Street. I have no problem with that, to be honest with you. Here you go. So you push up, you get some good damage. Unfortunately, you hit your teammate in the back with that grenade. You move up here. I like it. I'm fine. Now your teammate died. You see 2 enemies. You have to get out. You have to get out. You do a good job backing out, but you have to be ready to get back in that fight. Your teammates are playing pretty fast here. Instead, you kind of just wait. Your teammate runs out and dies. You get another teammate dead, and now you're last. Oh, and you go down. No, see, now this is just spiraling out of control here, right? You guys haven't really taken the time to get 4 up, and although you do a good job backing out of this fight, it's really unfortunate that this teammate just wants to run and engage again, but I hate to say it, you just have to chow Pink Street with him, and just, I hate to see it fight to the death, but it's like, he's just going to run out and die most likely, which is what happens. So honestly, I'd probably just wrap around and chow the same angle as him, and maybe just jiggle peek that little ledge there up towards Pink Street the best you can. Maybe even jump up here if you're feeling really cheeky, but I think there's going to be more action than you want to take on right now. Instead, you wait, you wait, you wait, and then you just get cooked. Like, although there wasn't like a clear right answer there just because of your teammate flying out like that, I do believe that was a probably worst choice you could have made there, was just staying there, because again, they're flying at you guys. They're getting you down, they're flying at you. So you see them B, now's your chance to get an angle here, on enemies that are not ready to fight you, because you do get the split spawns for the most part. But they're doing a great job just eradicating your team, so you literally just have to chill and look for your spawners. Chill, get information, look for your spawners. So it looks like they're spawning up Pink Street. Good job pinging it. You can keep... Oh, man, the grenades. I would have kept fighting that, to be honest with you. Keep fighting it. Try to move around those grenades as carefully as possible. And right now, you guys are just getting absolutely snuffed out. And it's pretty tough here. And you had a teammate leave, so this one's pretty much over. I'll be honest with you, this is pretty much just what you call the blender here. I mean, you guys never really got 4 up. Even when you did get 4 up, you were only 4 up on the map with maybe 1 or 2 people pushing the enemy and the other 2 kind of playing too slow in the spawn. I definitely think communication is probably the only thing that could have truly saved this game, and I know that's kind of controversial with me saying that, as I'm normally not talking to randoms, but in terms of tips and helping you guys get better at the game, I really do think that would have been the best thing, because you can be like, hey bro, you know, you need to slow up. Hey guys, you need to speed up. Hey guys, we need to wait for spawners. Communication's the biggest thing. As for earlier on, and that's kind of how you fix getting in the blenders. You have to get 4 up, you have to get a pick, you have to fight for that map control, and you have to hold the vantage points. But as for earlier on, I would just like to see you pretty much just move towards what you're hearing and what you're listening to. And then right here, these guys are kind of just flying at you. Great job getting the kills though, Radio. I'm gonna be honest with you, when you engage a gunfight, I'm pretty pleased with what I see. Just use a little bit more left stick aim, and I think you're gonna be pretty impressed. The only issue here is, and this is what gets a lot of people stuck down in their rank, and that is the indecisiveness, the not getting information, the not moving towards gunfights, because that leads to a lot of walking around the map. You know, you're not doing a lot of damage. You're never the one getting the kills. You know, maybe you're getting assists because you're kind of just touching somebody across the map with some bullets. And those stat lines really aren't what's going to help you rank up. And by no means am I saying play for stats. I'm just saying try to anticipate where the action's going to be, and once you hear or see the action happening, engage as quickly as possible, you know, because the sooner you get there, the sooner you potentially help your teammates live. If you wait too long on the action that's going on, then I really don't think it's going to work out for you as often, because either A, they kill everybody, or B, they go down in the gunfight because you're not there to help, they die, and then you're left in the decision where it's like, oh, do I run back and wait for teammates, or do I just run up and die, which we kind of saw both out of you in this gameplay. So overall, focus on where your teammates are, use that to dictate spawns, anticipate where the enemies are coming from, and then just use the sound, the kill cams, the kill feed to better anticipate where the action's coming from. And that's pretty much the main way to succeed in Slayer. I don't really think you did a bad job playing your life. I feel like you have a pretty good knack for when to push versus when, like right here, when to kind of chill. It's just how you're kind of navigating your fights and moving through them that's really the trouble for you. But keep working on your aim. Like I said, I like what I see. Use the left stick a little bit, and I think that's pretty much all the tips I have for you here. Again, guys, I am sorry for the quality, but Radio, it's not about the quality of the video. It's about the quality of the gameplay, the actually what happens in the gameplay and the tips. So hopefully this helped you out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And if you'd be ever so kind, please hit the subscribe button, guys. It helps out a lot. A lot of Halo content. We'll be doing some watch parties for Atlanta next week. Not the entire event, but we will be throwing some up for you. It's going to be a good time. So hit that sub button. Leave a like on the video, guys. It helps out ever so much. Leave a comment if you have any other tips for Radio here in his Platinum 2 gameplay. Feel free to spew it down below. I'll throw a heart react on what I think are the best tips, so he can go down and navigate the comments for some more advice. Then finally, guys, channel memberships and super thanks. It helps out ever so much as a content creator, but please do not feel like you have to. These VOD submissions are completely free, so it does help out if you'd like. If you'd like to submit a gameplay to be reviewed for yourself, guys, go down below in the description. There's a Discord link there. Join the Discord. There is a VOD submissions channel. Link me some gameplay there. Let me know what rank you are, what you think you need to work on, and I'll do a nice little VOD review for you for a video. And that does it for me, guys. This one's long enough. Stay happy, stay healthy, and stay tuned for the next video.